When I was 9 years old, my parents moved to a house in the country. The landlord asked my dad if could help with the work on the farm. My father said that would be a good thing for me. This was the start of a city slicker changing into a farm boy. I knew very little about work and responsibility, but that was all about to change. The first thing I had to deal with was the handling of a dead baby pig. My fear of touching the pig was obvious because I picked it up with 2 fingers by the hind leg and I carried it to the outside of the barn, in which I dropped it 3 times getting it there. Then I had to learn to carry 5-gallon buckets of water and feed, and we had to bale hay and straw. The hard part about this was they all weighed more than I did. We did chores twice a day, 365 days a year, whether we were sick or not. It did not take long for my muscles to develop along with my appetite, and by the end of the first year, I learned what the meaning of work was. Now I had to learn responsibility. Chores had to be done every day. There was always something that had to be planted, sowed, or harvested. And you could not do these things when you wanted to. They have to be done when the time is right. By this time I was growing physically and mentally. And my father was right. Working on a farm was very good for me. I also learned about what real neighbors are. Whenever a neighbor was in trouble or needed help, all the neighbors chipped in. We all worked together to make sure that the crops got in or out when the time was right and if somebody got behind. In 6 years, I went from a scrawny city slicker to a full-grown farmer. When I entered high school, I played in sports. All that I learned from being on the farm paid off. I was mentally tough to hang with all the kids, and I was physically ready. I was strong as they were, and I never saw a weight room. I witnessed the birth and the death of many animals. Life and death was something I had to deal with. At the end of the 6 years, I would pick up a dead animal and not even think twice about it. I helped with the birthing process of animals with no problems, and this was helpful to me to understand what life and death was all about. I learned the value of work, teamwork, and responsibility. At the time, I thought those 6 years of my life were very hard times. When I look back, I realized they were 6 great years. I will never be able to repay my father or our landlord for the work ethics and the mental lessons I learned from being on the farm. Thank you.